Hi everybody, I'm Annie Harbison, and today we're gonna do a dynamic flow focusing on back bending. You may wanna grab a couple props, a blanket or a block if you have it. If you don't have those today, no problem. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a child's pose. So take your knees wide along the mat, like so, and then walk your hands forward. Melt your heart down towards the floor and connect your forehead to the mat. Focus on your breath here, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth to start. If there's anything you need to let go of or release, do so with your exhale. Kind of cleanse your mind and your body of any block or tension. And if there is an intention that you'd like to set for your practice, you can go ahead and add that in now. Release it with an exhale. And then walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe your hands come off of your mat. You can even pick up your torso and then release yourself back down towards the floor. Notice the stretch in the side of your body, the left side of your body. Send your breath between each rib bone. Notice if the space expands or constricts with your breath. And then on your next exhale, walk your hands over to the left, all the way over here. Melt your heart down towards the floor again. And again, focus in your right side body. See if you can keep your hips moving back towards your heels and your palms resting on the floor. Beautiful. And then walk your hands back to center. Good. And then peel yourself up into table. Okay, here you want to make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders and knees are underneath your hips. Your toes can lay flat or they can curl under. It's totally your preference. And then find a cat-cow position. You've probably done this before. Some arching and rounding of your spine. Use your breath. So inhale, find that big arch in cat, or cow, excuse me, and then the big round. Good, in cats. Beautiful. Take that another round. Good. And then return to table. See if you can draw your navel up in towards your spine, okay? And then bring your left hand to center. Reach your right arm up and overhead and exhale, thread your needle through. So right arm rests on the floor, right ear rests on the floor, and then your left fingertips can stack on your mat. See if you can find that openness across your chest, keeping your shoulder away from your ear. Good. And now we'll move a little bit dynamically. So unwind and thread your needle. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it through and hold. Good. And then return to center. We'll take the other hand, so the right hand comes to center, left arm reaches up this time. Exhale, thread your arm through. You can tent your right fingertips to the mat. Good. Spin your heart open. Good. On your next inhale, reach your left arm up. And then exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach up. And exhale and hold. Good. And then return to your table. Good. Find that balance between your hands and your knees. A good space between your hands and your knees as well. And then curl your toes under and lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Good, find your first downward facing dog here. Really pressing your fingertips firmly to the mat, guiding your chest back towards your thighs, and then sinking your heels towards the floor. They do not have to touch here. Good, as you inhale, shift your weight forward, find your plank pose. And exhale, shift back, find your downward facing dog. Take that for a few rounds with your breath. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, sink back. Good, one more like that. And then exhale, re-find your dog, and then come back down to table. Take a few cat-cows here. Good. And then extend your right leg back, toes meeting the mat, and left arm forward. See if you can send your arm forward so much that your fingertips feel like they're shooting forward to the wall in front of you, or whatever space you're in, and then engage your leg so much that it lifts off the floor. Very nice. Find a line between your heel and your fingertips. Good. And then place your left hand down, drop your right foot, spin your left foot behind you, and reach up, find your modified side plank. Good. Find that position here. And then exhale, release your hand down. Let's go to the other side. Feel free to add any additional movement here in between sides. That's completely fine. When you're ready, extend your left leg back, right arm forward this time. Remember that engagement, that drawing everything into your midline, and find that natural lift. Beautiful. Rest your right hand down. Still extend through that leg. Kick your right heel back. Ground your left foot and reach up. Find that open shape across your body. Feel that stretch in your side hip, side waist. And then exhale, return. Re-find your table. Take a few cat-cows. Press up into downward facing dog. This time, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down. Really make sure you're tucking your elbows in and sending them back. Flip your feet so the tops of your feet rest on your mat. And lift through your heart, okay? Imagine you've got a string between your shoulder blades. It's just lifting you up. Find some openness across your throat. And as you exhale, lower your heart down to the floor. Take your hands wider this time. Lift up from that same imaginary thread and find your low back bend here. Good, cobra pose. Your fingers can tent or they can be grounded. Okay, or your palms can be grounded. Good. Exhale, take another one down. And then inhale, maybe get a little bit bolder and bigger and find that kind of king cobra shape. Good. It doesn't have to be this big. It can be really whatever your body needs to feel like and look like today. And then exhale, melt your body down. Great. And then extend your left arm and then tent your fingers on your right hand. Good. Ground through your left ear. Pick your right leg up, bend your knee, and then stack your foot on the floor. Feel that stretch in the front of your left shoulder. Breathe here for a few cycles of breath. Very nice. And then exhale, release. Good. And then do the same thing on the other side. Tense your right hand or your left hand, excuse me. Then pick up your left foot, bend your knees, stack your foot. Good. Right ear is on the floor. Beautiful. And then find your prone position. So prone essentially means belly down. Good. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders, press up or guide your body up through table, and then into downward facing dog. If you want to pedal your heels out here, you may, or shift your hips from side to side, whatever feels good. And then walk your feet up towards your hands. Good, ground your feet firmly into your mat. Good, lift up halfway, maybe your hands touch your shins, push your legs away, find that full extension through your spine, and then exhale, fold. Great. Let your body sway, maybe widen your feet to give your hips a little bit more space. You can clasp your hands around your elbows, let your fingers drag along the floor. You have license to do whatever feels best in your body. Shake your head out, yes and no, and then toe heel your feet so they're right underneath your hips. And then gently drag your fingertips up the fronts of your legs and stand all the way up in mountain. Adjust to what you need. Good. And then find your mountain pose. Good, feet right underneath your hips, arms open, chest open. Good, and see if you can find that engagement in your low core. Good. See if you can find that natural place for your hips so you're not overarching or over tucking here. Good. You may find that pelvic floor engagement or your navel moving in towards your spine, or even the tops of your pelvis moving up towards your ribs. Good, then rest your arms down by your side. Your palms can face in or out, totally up to you. And then on your next inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. As you exhale, open your heart, find that cactus shape. Then inhale, take your arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, sweep up. We're gonna do this a few times. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Find your cactus. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. And this hand, bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment to just connect with your body, to connect with your breath. If you need any movement, take it. And then if it feels good, bring your big toes to touch. If not, keep your feet wide. And then inhale again, sweep your arms up overhead, and exhale, dive forward. Good, inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, step your right foot back. Good. Find that lunge position in your body. Some people call this runner's lunge. This is a great spot to have a block. You can use one, or if you have two, you can use two. Okay. So find that lunge position and then rest your back knee on the floor. Open your left foot wide and send your hips forward. Find that lizard variation. You can stay here or drop your forearms to the floor. Very nice. If you want an advanced version or just a modified version, you can drop your left knee out to the left. Just be mindful you're engaging your whole foot. Another addition would be to open into a twist. Good. Be mindful that you're not sinking here in your torso and shoulder, but you're staying really engaged throughout your entire body. Great. And then exhale, release. Refind that position where your knee is stacking on top of your ankle, your back leg is firm and straight. Good. And then open your feet wide into wide-legged fold. Shake your head out, yes and no. Very nice. And then ground your right palm underneath your chest. Reach your left arm up. This may feel a little familiar. Good, and then exhale. Bring your left hand down. Reach your right arm up. See if you can keep spiraling your inner thighs in and back. Good. Maybe you take your gaze up towards your thumb. Beautiful. And then reground your hands and then take it to the other side of your mat. Good. Great. Refine that low lunge or that runner's position. Maybe you need to get your block, okay, or a prop here to support you. And then take your hands to the inside of your foot. Open your foot to the right side of your mat. Ground through your back knee. And see if you can find a similar position on this side like the other side, as you did the other side. Great. So if you went down to your forearms, try that. If you open your knee out to the side, try that. Or if you took a twist. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that you can take a twist up high as well. So if that's the variation that feels best for you, go for that. Beautiful. And then reground your hands. Return to your low lunge. Send the crown of your head forward. Stack your back heel on top of your toes. And then return to your wide-legged fold. Take a nice bow here. And then inhale, come up. Halfway. Exhale. Inhale up. And then one more exhale. And then walk your hands forward and then send your left foot back. Good. Squeeze everything in towards your midline. Imagine you've got a zipper from your inner toes all the way up to your nose. Did you like that? Good. Good. Squeeze everything in. And then exhale, find your downward facing dog. If you'd like to move through an Ardha Vinyasa or a half Vinyasa, you may. Or if you want to take child's pose, that's completely an option. So if you're taking the Ardha Vinyasa, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, hug everything in, lower all the way down. Flip your feet. And then inhale, rise to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, refine your downward facing dog. Very nice. Hold for 3 cycles of breath. Here in Adho Mukha Shavasana, or you can take child's pose. Great. As you're ready, step your right foot forward. Beautiful. Find your lunge position. On your inhale, take a nice twist. Good. Hold it for a breath. Exhale, release. Keep your front foot grounded, the ball of your back foot grounded, and then reach your arms forward. Find your high lunge. Okay? Be mindful that you're not shifting too far forward or too far back, and that your knee is moving out towards the edge of your mat, okay? Sink your hips down towards the floor. Keep your arms high. If it feels good, open your chest, find your cactus. Good, and then reach your arms up. And exhale, take your hands down. Beautiful. Find your low lunge. And then ground your back knee, sweep your right foot back behind you, ground your heel, place your left palm on the floor, kick your left foot behind you, and find your modified side plank. Good, maybe you reach your arm overhead, maybe you take a crunch. It's totally up to you here. I'm going to give you creative license to do what you like here. Great. And then whenever you're ready, return to center. You can take a few cat-cows. You can move through that art of Vinyasa. But again, do what feels best for your body. And then we'll take it to the other side. So lift up in your downward facing dog. Find a firm position here, and then place your left foot on the floor, or forward. Good, on the floor. Good, find that stacking, so the left knee stacks on top of the left ankle. Back leg strong and straight. Good, stay tented or ground your palm, or even use a block underneath the shoulder, and reach your arm up. Good, squeeze everything in towards your midline. Still create that zippered action. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Then find your balance and reach your arms forward and find your high lunge. Again, scoop that pelvis underneath you. Okay, so we're not tucking and we're not overarching. Find that neutrality in your hips. And then reach your arms overhead. Send your elbows out for cactus. Inhale up and exhale down. Back to your low lunge. Good, ground your right heel. Kick your foot out, sweep your left foot back, and then reach your left arm up. Again, find that modified position, creating space along the torso, or side body. Good, space through the chest, so we're not dropping here in our shoulders. Good. And if you added that accessory movement, you can do so now. Good. And then release. Again, you may take child's pose here. If that's best for you, or if you're feeling a little spicy and want to move through your vinyasa, please take it. Very nice. And whenever you're ready, everyone come to child's pose. Flip your hands so your palms face up in a very receptive gesture. And reconnect your forehead to the floor. See if you can bring your mind back to the intention that you set in the beginning of class. Very nice, and allow that to inspire your movement. Good, inhale, come back up, return to downward facing dog as you're ready. Great. Take your gaze forward, step your right foot forward between your hands. Find your lunge here. Exhale, take a twist. Release down to your lunge. Okay, look forward in front of you. Refine that high lunge. We've been here before. Squeezing everything into your midline. Exhale, send your elbows out to the side. Heart goes up to the sky. Throat open, gaze above you or in front of you. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up overhead. And then watch closely. We're going to twist to the right. So the only thing that is moving is our torso and our arms. Our legs stay stationary. Okay, see if you can find that nice twisting action. And then drop your back hand down your back leg. Reach up and overhead for that reverse warrior twist. Good. Beautiful. Return to your twist. And then drop that left hand to the inside of your right foot. This is a great option for a blanket or prop. Good. Beautiful. Great. And then return to your low lunge. Good. You can move through vinyasa, okay? Or you can kind of do a fun little move and switch your feet, okay? it's, do this with caution and only if it feels good. Good. And then when you're ready, refind your lunge. See if you can spread your toes wide. Good. And then find your twist. So right hand down to the mat, left arm reaches up. Beautiful. Send your knee out to the side. Good. And then exhale, release. Very nice. Squeeze everything in towards your midline. Reach up. Find your high lunge. Exhale, elbows out. Inhale, up. Exhale, elbows out again if you like. Inhale, up. And then refind that twisting action. So again, your legs are gonna stay as stationary as possible. Woo. And then you're going to twist and maybe even take your gaze towards that back thumb. Squeeze everything in toward your midline. Drop that back hand. Reach the front arm up and back. And as you're ready, cartwheel your arms down. Just one. Right hand grounds to the floor, left arm reaches up. Find that twist. And then return to your low lunge. Good. And then return to downward facing dog when you're ready. If you like, move through your vinyasa. Totally up to you how you take this movement. Just be mindful as you move. Move with integrity and intention. Very good. Return to center and find a little bit of cat-cow. Maybe some barrel roll action through your torso. Very good. And then everyone come down to your belly. Just gonna move my props a little bit. Good. So for a moment, take your hands on the mat, stack your hands on the mat, and then rest your forehead on top of your hands. And take a breath, or 3. And see if you can visualize, good, yourself in a bow shape, where your belly is pressing down towards the floor, your knees are bent behind you, your hands are catching your ankles, and your heart is sending your light forward. Good. So we'll move into a little bit more preparatory work before we go into the full expression of bow, which is completely optional, okay? So take your belly back down. This time take your arms by your sides and maybe even clasp your hands at your low back, okay? So roll your shoulders back and down, create space between your shoulders and your ears. And then press your pubic bone down a lot. And then lift from that same thread between your shoulders and lift from the backs of your thighs. And find your locust pose. Very nice. Breathe deep. Inhale. And exhale. Hold for another breath. And then exhale, release. Good, take one cheek to the floor. Rock your lower body from side to side or your hips from side to side. If that was a little too graduated, you can return to those cobras that we did earlier in practice. Okay, we're gonna take this locust pose one more time. So again, you can clasp your hands, or even you can just send your fingertips back behind you. That's completely fine, okay? Take whichever variation feels best for you. And as you're ready, press your pelvis down, reach back, send your heart forward. Notice your breath. Notice the texture of your breath. Is it shallow or deep, smooth or rigid? Take one more inhale here, and then exhale. Good, your arms can be out like the letter T. And to release that low back a little bit, we will take a scorpion variation. So send your right leg up, bend your knee, and then stack your foot behind you. Good. And then in release, you may find this to be a familiar movement. And exhale, release. Do this a couple more times on each side. Being mindful that you're feeling good in your low back. And maybe you don't stack your foot all the way on top of your mat or the floor. And that's okay. And then return back to center. Good. And then roll on to your left side. So you can extend your arm in front of you, stack your legs, and then bend your right knee, okay? See if you can clasp your foot or even your pant leg. And find that stretch in the front of your right hip. Okay, maybe send your leg back behind you a little bit more. And kind of find that half dancer shape. You can come up onto your hand here for your head and neck if that feels better to you. But be mindful that you're not sending your knee up, okay? And that's really important. And you're not collapsing here in your chest. You're staying open. Very nice. Hold for a few breaths here and then slowly release. Return to center and then come to the other side. Good. Head rests on the arm, or it can be held up by your hand. Good. And then bend your left knee. Take your arm up and back. Grab your pant leg or whatever's closest. Or maybe just the action of reaching is enough. Okay. If you have your ankle or foot, maybe kick your foot into your hand to accentuate that stretch in the front of the thigh and hip. Be mindful that you're not over bowing here and lifting your knee or taking it out to the side too much. Very nice. And then slowly release. And return back. Good, to center position. Okay, press up into table. And refine your spinal balance. We'll do a right leg first this time. So right leg extends back, left arm forward, okay? Really pull everything in and find that long line between your fingers and your toes. And then reach back behind you, maybe even look behind you, bend your knee and see if you can grab the outside of your ankle or your foot or even your pant leg. And then send your heart forward for half bow. Good, stay engaged through your core. Press down through your foot and hand. Find that internal engagement. And then slowly, without slingshotting, release your hand and foot back down to the floor. Good. Maybe take a few shifts front and back before going to the other side. And then when you're ready, good, extend your left leg back this time. Reach your right arm forward. Hug everything to midline. Look back behind you, send your arm back. Bend your knee. Maybe you've lifted it off the floor already. Bend your knee. And then find that connection and kick that foot into your hand. Engage through your core. Send your heart forward. Beautiful. Good. Release slowly and return to center. Find your child's pose. Palms face up. Take a few breaths. Draw your energy inward. Good. And then come all the way down to your belly. Okay, so moving into the big variation of bow. Okay, draw your heels in towards your glutes. See if you can connect your hands to the tops of the feet. Okay, again, you can grab your pant leg, or if you've got a strap handy, that's great here too. Okay, this is enough here. Okay, this is enough for bow. You do not have to go any further than this. If you would like more, remember that same application of lifting up from the back of your heart or imagining that thread between your shoulder blades. Use that action and also draw everything in towards your midline, okay? Press your pubic bone down. And as you're ready, kick your feet back into your hands, okay? This is bow pose. Good. Be mindful that you're staying honest through your spine. If it's too much in your low back, release, okay? After you've been here 5 to 10 breaths, everybody come back towards the floor. Release your feet. Drop one ear to the mat and rock it out. Very nice. Take an extra breath here if you like. And then whenever you're ready, roll onto your back. Good. Find that position on your back. And then take your right knee in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Maybe a couple ankle rolls. Very nice. And then drop your knee over to the side. Find your twist. Maybe you tuck your foot behind your leg or it grounds to the floor. This can be a really good option for your blanket underneath your knee or even underneath your shoulder. Great. And then exhale, slowly release. And find it on the other side. So left knee draws in towards your chest. Take a few rolls of your ankle. Good. And then as you're ready, twist to the opposite side. Your gaze can come to the other shoulder, if that feels good, or stay neutral. It's completely up to you. Great, and then return to center. Take your knees in towards your chest again and squeeze everything in towards your midline. And then exhale everything down towards the mat. Extend your legs wide, arms reach down and wide, shoulders tuck in. Release any tension through your jaw. Maybe rock it from side to side or open and close. Take a few cleansing breaths, settling into your Shavasana or corpse pose. Return to your intention. Good. And then draw your hands in Just leaving you here. You may stay as long as you like. If you'd like to bring your hands to your heart or even your thumbs to your forehead, you may. And thank your body for showing up, for being present with you and moving and flowing with your breath. Good. And the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.